Kiss. Welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house kiss of the day is Jacqueline St. John. Jacqueline, thank you so much. I love the sea turtle card. That's so cute. Jacqueline couldn't figure out Patreon, so she went with the snail mail, and I love that. I think that's so awesome. Sometimes Patreon can be a little bit funky and not really work, but thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it so much. And if you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Hopefully it'll work. And if not, I love getting mail, so that's cool too. Alright, so where did we leave off yesterday? They had the have-not reveal, and it turns out the have-nots this week were the first 3 people out of the HOH competition, aka the Under 1 Minute Club. I still can't believe they were only in the HOH competition for seconds. So that honor belongs to Kevin, Mark, and Paul. And of course, Josh got the extension chip last week, so it means he's got 1 more week left as a have-not. That sucks. And in other news, Mark will be going for the temptation this week. It took a while for Big Brother to give him the key. And everybody in the meantime was questioning his decision. They were like, oh shit, he's gonna be unbearable if he pulls that extension chip, because he is such a freaking grumpy puss on slop. Alright, so anyway, I'm not gonna reveal what happened yet because I want to tell you guys what happened in order, so we'll come back to that. Continuing on with the day. Kevin, Josh, and Paul were chatting in the have-not room. Paul wasn't feeling so good yesterday. He said he couldn't keep any food down. His body was aching. That doesn't sound good. So I think he's feeling better today though, by the way. But Josh is like, all right, I'll make you guys some tea. And he is also gonna hook Kevin up with some decent slop. That's nice. But it turns out, I think Josh has been eating not the best slop all week because he wasn't filtering out the, what's in that? I don't know. They filter it out somehow and get some of that shit out of there. I don't know, but he hasn't been doing that. So Paul was just like, what the F, man? Anyway, Kevin mentions that Cody is talking to people more than ever before, and he's definitely noticing it. So Josh is like, yeah, it seems like he came in with a whole new personality. And apparently Cody told them when he was evicted, he had his post-eviction interviews with a few news outlets, and apparently they commented on his lack of social game. And he is now trying to fix that. So Josh is just like, I'm not buying into this new Cody. No freaking way. Alright, so then Raven and Matt had a quick game chat in the Rose bedroom. And Matt asked her, if you won HOH, who would you put up? And Raven's like, well, definitely Josh. And then Matt's like, and Mark? And Raven says she'd hate to do it, but I guess so. It seems like Mark is really moving up on a lot of people's target lists. Number 1, he's just pissing a lot of people off on a personal level. And number 2, on a game level, he's freaking shady as hell. He's going back and forth. The couple can't tell if he's with them or Cody and Jessica, so it's not a good situation for Mark right now, but they agree that they would not go after Cody and Jess yet, because I guess they promised them safety until jury. Wouldn't they have made that same promise with Mark and Elena? I feel like all the couples had that agreement, but maybe they made some sort of set agreement with Cody and Jess. It was probably, you know what, it was probably this week after Jess won the HOH, and they were like, don't put us up. So they said they're not going to go back on that. Are these two going to go for HOH anyway? I feel like every time they're talking, Matt's like, we don't have to do anything for 3 or 4 more weeks. We're good. Okay, so then Mark was finally called to the diary room for the have-not temptation key. And when he came out of the DR, everybody was like, oh, did you get it? Did you get it? You got the key? And he was just like, no, not yet. He's a liar. So he went out to get Elena, pulled her into the have-not room, just the 2 of them, and he was like, well, I didn't want to pick in front of everyone else because there's certain people that bug the hell out of me. So he's being a big baby about it because he saw the reaction that Josh got last week when he pulled the, I keep wanting to call it an exploitation chip, the extension chip, and I feel like if he pulled in front of everybody and got the extension chip and they reacted the way they did when Josh got it, when they're all like, "Wah," he would have lost it. So anyway, he goes for the orange spike, and guess what? He got the extension chip. oh shit. So that means 2 weeks of slop for him, which actually means 3 weeks because he was on slop last week too. That sucks. So he's like, oh my god, I need to win this next HOH. I'm not gonna make it if I don't. I don't know. Mark doesn't have the best track record in competitions, but you never know. So then after this whole thing happens, they cut to Matt eating cereal in the kitchen. Oh, does he eat anything else? I don't know why, but it just drives me crazy and not in a good way. So then Cody and Jess were strategizing on the hammock, and Jess is like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. We could demolish this house if we teamed up with Jason and Alex because they're so good at comps. Cody and Jess are so good at comps. So she's like, yeah, it would be awesome, except I can't effing stand Alex. So she's realizing this would not actually be a possibility, and Cody's like, yeah, that's assuming we could ever even trust them. Like, no freaking way. Cody was super close to Alex before he was evicted, and now he's not so happy with her after she put Jess up on the block last week. So he's like, they screwed us over. We stuck our necks out for them week 1. He could have very easily put up Jason. Everybody in the house wanted him to do that, but then he went and put up Paul and then Christmas instead. So Cody is kind of wishing like maybe he had put up Jason as a replacement nominee and things would be a lot different right now. But he was like, at the same time, what he did, he thought was so much cooler. So no regrets. All right, and then Jess is like, yeah, I kind of wish that I put up Jason and Alex this week. And Cody's like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, he really, really wants Josh out. He is freaking pissed about the way that Josh has talked to Jess and interacted with her. I think specifically during the HOH competition, they didn't show it on the show, but at one point, Josh was saying to Christmas, like, you can beat that thing. Like, referring to Jessica. He called her that thing, not even a human being. So that's pretty low. So Cody's like, he doesn't even deserve to interact with you. It is a pleasure to be in your company. Oh my god. Okay, so then Jess brings up this week's vote. She's feeling a little bit nervous. Like, she's like, the thought crossed my mind. What if everybody's just playing us this week and they're actually going to keep Josh around to mess with us? Yup. And then Jess is saying that she's not really worried about that considering how much Josh has been crying this week. And she's like, if Josh's crying has all been fake, then he is a freaking sociopath. Well, okay, so then anyway, Mark finally lets people know that he got the extension chip, and they're all weirded out that he did not include them on this whole thing. They're just like, what the hell? Why didn't you tell us that you got the key and that you were going to make your decision? And he's just like, I don't know, I didn't want to. So they're surprised too that Big Brother would even let him do that because they thought that it was like a group activity and they were all going to be there, but I guess not. So a lot of people are pissed at Mark, especially Christmas. She is freaking preparing to strike. Mark is like her #1 target right now. Ooh! She was talking to Matt and Raven in the Rose bedroom, and of course they're all pissed again that he only brought Elena into the have-not room with him. Christmas is like, we're all looking forward to this. Like, we don't have a lot to look forward to in this house. Like, this was something we were really excited about to see what was going to happen, and he robbed us of that. But at the same time, they are excited that he's going to be on slop for 2 weeks because that's really going to mess him up. And they know that he's going to be gunning hard for that HOH competition, so they feel like if he's on slop, he's definitely going to be weakened, and I think that's true. So then Josh comes in, and he says, guys, honestly, I'm having a little bit of a hard time here, keeping up the sad act. Like, I want to go out and have fun with everybody, hang out, but I can't. So Christmas is like, listen up! You better freaking keep it together and don't mess this up, because if you blow this, you're gonna ruin it for all of us. So he's just like, okay. So Josh leaves, and then the three of them are talking about the pickle juice hot sauce incident again. And again, they're not happy with Mark. They still can't believe that he even did that in the first place. But even worse, Mark is still to this day trying to justify it. He's trying to say like, oh, Josh deserved it, whatever. You don't throw hot sauce in people's eyes. Are you freaking kidding me? So they were like totally grossed out by that. Puppy, take that outside. So then Ramses was talking to Jess in the bathroom area, and he was like, hey, are you thinking about using that veto maybe? And Jess is like, well, I'd prefer to leave the nominations the same, but if I sense that you're in danger, I'll pull you down because, you know, I don't want you to go home. And she really doesn't. So she's like, I haven't seen any red flags yet. It should be a unanimous vote. Oh, no, it's not. So then Ramses is like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I haven't seen any red flags yet either. But he brings up the last time he was on the block, he did get 2 votes. So he's worried that maybe he was like a secondary target for some people up against like Cody. And now that he's up on the block again, maybe he's somebody's primary target. So he's worried that he's going to get more votes. So she's like, all right, I'll talk to some people, confirm some votes and see what's up. And if I feel like anybody's being shady or anything, I will let you know and we'll go from there. So she also instructs Ramses to go talk to people like Kevin, Alex, and Jason. Oh boy. Okay, so then Jess and Cody were talking back at the hammock, and she says like she's starting to have some doubts. She feels like something is off with the vote. She's got this gut feeling. She's not sure if she's just being paranoid or if something is actually about to happen. Girl, listen to your gut. So she says if she was on the other side, she would totally be planning on voting out Ramses and keeping Josh to target them and mess with them. Okay, if you're seeing that as a good move, that should be an indicator that other people are seeing the same thing and they're gonna go for it, right? I feel like that's pretty obvious. So then she's like, all right, this is freaking me out. Maybe I should just use the veto on Ramses, make sure he's safe, and put up Alex, because she's saying Alex is closer with those other people. Ramses doesn't have ties to them, so they don't have a problem voting him out. But if Alex is up on the block, then they'll probably vote out Josh. And if they do end up flipping and vote out Alex, she doesn't really care because she doesn't like Alex anyway. So Cody is like, I think you're just being paranoid. But he says he'll support her either way. And he's like, if it were me, I would just keep Ramses up there. But that doesn't mean much because he's been wrong a hell of a lot in this game. So Jess is like, yeah, I just don't want to feel like I'm wasting my HOH here if they take out freaking Ramses and Josh stays in the house. So she's like, again, I'm going to talk to more people, see if they're being shady. So Jess pulls Elena aside to chat in the Apple Lounge, and she's like, I need you to be 100% honest with me. Am I about to get blindsided with this vote on Thursday? And Elena's like, no, I haven't heard anything about a flip. Oh, you are asking the wrong person. She is asking one of the 2 people, or sorry, yeah, well, 3 that are not in on this plan. Oh my god. So yeah, Elena's saying she hasn't heard anything about a flip. So Jess is like, I'm gonna feel so guilty if I put Ramsay's game in danger and I was like gambling with his game and then he goes home. Like, she would feel really, really bad about that. So Elena's like, look, even if we don't get Jason and Alex voting with us, that's only 2 votes. She said they still have Christmas, Paul, Mark, and Elena, and then she says that Matt and Raven are just going to do what they do. And then Kevin, I guess they feel like they have him too. Nope. So, anyway, she's telling Jessica she doesn't want to see Ramses go either. So if she hears something, she's going to let her know. So meanwhile, we've got Raven giving Matt a ballet lesson in the backyard. Apparently he lost a bet. He's wearing like a little bow in his hair. He was a good sport about it, so yay. Okay, so then back to the game. Jess reports back to Cody in the HOH room, and she's like, you know what, I feel better now. Elena told me that everything's cool with the upcoming vote, and it seemed like she was being genuine. Yeah, because she doesn't know what's actually going on. But a little while later, they were like freaking banging. Like right in the HOH room, lights on. Luckily, Big Brother did not show it, except for like this 1 second you could see covers and stuff, but like, ugh. Yeah, okay, so anyway, the pool bet strikes again, but this time it was Ramses and Matt. So Ramses lost to Matt because he actually scratched on his first shot. He scratched the 8-ball. Poor Ramses. So now he has to wear Matt's clothes for a day. Like the freaking Texas tank top, but what's Matt gonna wear? He only has so much clothing with him. It's so sad. Okay, so then while they were out playing pool, they were also doing laundry, and Christmas starts freaking out on Ramsay's over laundry. She accuses him of trying to cut her in line while she was taking a nap. She freaking called him the C word over this laundry situation. So Kevin is trying to smooth things over. It definitely seemed like it was just a misunderstanding. He wasn't like maliciously trying to cut her in line to do freaking laundry. And then after it's like pretty much done, Christmas is like, oh, I wasn't really yelling at you, Ramsay. I was just busting your balls. Seemed like you were yelling to me and to a lot of people. A lot of people were really weirded out by the whole incident. They were like, damn, can't believe she just did that. Yeah. Alright, so then we had another Josh monologue in the Apple Lounge. It's just like the same thing over and over again. But I'm mentioning this one because he was all right, guys, I'm going to take you through the Big Brother I'm Going Home starter kit. So he's like, number 1, you got your shades on, so it looks like you've been crying. Number 2, you've got this blanket over your head, so it looks like you don't want to leave your bed all day. And I was expecting like more in this starter kit, but that was it. It was just 1 and 2. And then after that was just more of the same. He can't wait for the blind side. He can't wait to see the looks on people's faces, and he's going to call them out. Mark sucks, blah, blah, blah. All right. So then, this is interesting. Kevin and Ramsay's were in the money bedroom. And I think that our dear Kevin has really grown to love Ramsay's almost like a son. I remember at the beginning of the season, Kevin was saying that he did not like Ramsay's, but now they're so fun together, so cute, and they definitely have bonded. And you could see right here, Kevin warns Ramsay's that he should talk to Jess about using the power of veto. Oh my goodness. So he didn't say straight up like, everybody's gonna vote you out. You need to get Jess to use that veto. But he tells him, like, you need to talk to Jess. And then he's like, don't tell anybody I told you that. But guess what? Ramsay's did not get that chat in with Jess last night. That is a major, major missed opportunity. And it could have changed a lot of things. But anyway, he did end up talking to Josh in the have-not room. And Josh was freaking trolling Ramsay's. Josh is pretending to be all bummed out. And he's like, yeah, I'm going home this week, blah, blah, blah. And Ramsay's is comforting him, which is so freaking sad. He's like, we signed up for this. You can make the best of it or the worst of it. Like, don't let it get to you. Poor Ramsay's. Okay. At the same time, though, he just blew a major opportunity to change things up. So today they had the Power of Veto ceremony. Power of Veto ceremony. Jess did not use the veto, which means that Josh and Ramsay's are still up on the block. So Josh was celebrating by himself in the Apple Lounge. He was all meatballs, meatballs, linguine, blah. Oh my god, I'm so sick of it. Come up with something new, okay? We're sick of it. And then Christmas was talking to Jess, and she tells her, I'm just gonna let you know right now, I am throwing Josh a sympathy vote this week because he's been there for me, and I feel like I want to do this for him. Well, that'll explain 1 of the 7 votes this week for Ramsay's to go. And I think this is really going to be turning a lot of people off on Christmas because it stinks of playing both sides. Because she's kind of like squaring things away with Jess and Cody, but also voting with Paul and his crew. And I already saw that Paul is saying, like, no, that's not cool. Like, he didn't say that to her, but to other people. So he's not going to be happy about that. And then Elena and Paul were chatting in the money bedroom, and he asked her, like, how do you feel about the whole Josh situation? And Elena's like, well, I've been meaning to tell you that Jess is getting really scared about the votes. She keeps asking me how I'm voting, and she says that people are being really wishy-washy confirming their votes for Josh to go this week. So then she asked Paul, like, you're voting out Josh still, right? And Paul's like, yeah. Nope. So he's straight up lying to Elena right now, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I don't know, the eviction is a few days away. Anything could happen. Will Josh be able to keep his mouth shut until Thursday? I feel like the only way that Ramsay's would stay this week, like, even if Josh outs the plan and Jessica and Cody find out that he's staying, I feel like they're still going to go through with it and get rid of Ramsay's. But maybe the guilt will be so strong on Jess that she will use her halting hex. But I feel like no. Because I feel like she's going to save that for herself and Cody. But you never know. You don't underestimate the power of guilt, right? I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.